All right, Sloan, sounds good. So it's Thursday, so that means we're back in Nutrition Educator Lynn Matava's kitchen. And today we are using cocoa powder and spinach. And if you're thinking, what, those don't kind of go together? Well, think again.
I'm here today to plead with you to not throw away your overripe bananas. Bananas are very affordable, and oftentimes because of that they start to get a little brown. Not everyone likes them a little brown, and we always don't have time to make banana bread, right? So sometimes they might sit around too long and get thrown in the trash. What I like to do with them is to slice them up, kind of as you see here, on a single sheet or a plate covered in foil, and then I put them in my freezer, and we always have frozen bananas ready to go to throw into smoothies or make those banana pops like we made a few months ago on the show. So I've got about 2 bananas here, and this is just such a great thing you can have ready to go the night before for a quick morning, or if you are really craving something sweet and you're trying not to eat something that's, you know, maybe like a little bit on the discretionary treat side, like a cookie. This is just a healthy way to have something a little sweet and to satisfy that sweet tooth. So I've got, like I said, a couple frozen bananas here, and then you can pretty much add any other combination of flavors and things to this mix. I'm just going to show you one that's one of my family favorites, and it's a chocolate peanut butter smoothie. So I'm putting in the beverage of my choice, filling it maybe a little bit less than halfway. I can always add more. And then I'm adding a little bit of cocoa powder. This is unsweetened, the stuff you bake with, really full of dense nutrients, and it's pretty good for you, and the bananas are so sweet you don't need to add any extra sugar. And then I'm adding a little bit of peanut butter in. You could get really fancy and at this point and add something like chia seeds or hemp seeds or something like that if you wanted to add those for extra protein, even something like walnuts. Well, we already have the peanut butter in there. And then because I put the cocoa powder in, this is kind of where the magic comes in. I can throw in some baby spinach. This also works really well if you're trying to sneak in a little bit of the dark greens for kids of all ages that need a little bit of extra greens. It also works well if you're using something like blueberries, frozen blueberries. That also disguises them really well. But because we've got the cocoa powder in, it's just going to look like chocolate. And I'm going to turn my blender on. Give this a little stir. There's a lot of stuff in this blender, and I started it a little too high. But depending on the amount of cocoa powder you decide to use, and I should have told you I used about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and about 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And then I'm just adding in about 2 big handfuls of spinach, as you saw. And I'm just adding in a little bit more of my milk. You could use oat milk or oat beverage, almond milk, any of those things would work as well. Even just water. Could have added just a little more cocoa powder, so I'm going to do that since I still have it out, because the goal is to make it not look green if we're trying to convince little ones to try get a little more baby spinach in. All right, and it's all ground nicely. And something I should have shared before, You buy those baby spinach clamshell kind of plastic containers, and I'm guilty of not using them all before they go bad. You can toss that whole container in the freezer, and that is a great way to make sure you always have a little bit of this on hand along with your frozen bananas for making smoothies any morning, or like I said, anytime you're looking for just a nice sweet treat. And there we have it.
Awesome stuff. As a reminder, you can find all of Lynn's tips and tricks on our website by visiting 47abc.com and just clicking on the Good Morning Delmarva page. All right.